many of you went through the logistic regression notebook last week? Yeah. Any other business? Oh. So what's the problem? Like, how come you guys didn't go through the notebook? Is there any reason? Like, I want to know why we are not going through, we are not going back to what we did. Like, I want to know. I'm really bothered. Like, it's not really encouraging, to be honest. It doesn't make any sense. Like, at the end of the day, we just have about 2 people out of over 60 people. It doesn't really make any sense. Like, I expect you guys to go through and ask questions. Today we are going to do something that is very difficult, and it is based on what we did the last time. So these are like, there are layers, they are stacked upon another. If you don't understand the last one, you can't ask questions about the last one, you will be able to do this one. Like, it's not as if it's not a course, it's just what it is. So you guys should try to go through the video. It's very important. But what is like the challenge? I want to know your challenge. Seriously, like, what's the problem? What's the major problem? Is it the lights? Is it electricity? Or motivation or commitment? Like, what's the problem? Or is it the country? Like, what is the You're going to bear with me. This is not my system. There will be a lot of stuff that I don't know. In terms of, I don't really know, I'm not comfortable with this keyboard, but we'll figure it out. Eight, right? As of last year, Adela, she went through logistic regression without regularization. So this week, what we are going to do is logistic regression with regularization.
But did you guys understand what how?
Because we English, we got to one point, say sigma, just put the sigma.
Who understands what?
Did you go through the notes? You should have supposed to know. So what's the question?
Okay, I have a question.
Like on the plus command, there's a place that is can you see like the command
This one.
yeah, that one.
This one.
What's the point of access plus else?
Plotting, visualization is another thing. I remember clearly that I sat down, I finished it, but I sat down very well for like 2 hours or 3 hours to make sure that it comes out nice. So you have to go through it step by step. You get it? It's not actually hard. It's not actually hard. I can't really remember what I did here, but I know that I was using this plot function to do more than one thing, right? So it's this same. I know you will see the next.
What's the
next?
What like? Is it the old? Is it the old thing?
What does this mean? What does this mean? So this is the marker. What does this mean? And what is that?
So this is
This whole
see, 7 plus.
because this one is star. This star and this one. What is this one? No, realize your training. When I remember, realize your training.
So
What is under?
this is visualization. What I was just advising you to do is that plot, just like what Kinichi said, plotting is like an entirely different thing. Personally, if you're going to do plotting, it's what you do after you build your model, but it enables you to understand what you how your data set is. Like after training, it enables you to like visualize what you have done. But plotting personally is like another thing. It's like a skill set for presenting work. Let's say after doing a research, you need to plot what you have done to show people that you really understand what you have done. So I won't say we are not going to discuss anything about visualization in this class. If you want to talk about visualization, go to what? Go to data science class. I just want to inform you. That's what it is. You should take it out. It's going to connect the lines.
Yeah,
Yes, it's connecting the lines.
Okay, so it's probably separating the lines. If you define it, it separates the lines.
So another thing I always do is that we take this code. Can you go up? Can you go? We take this code. No, go down. We take this code, like take them out of the function. You can take this part out and run it. That's how you understand this plotting. You take this each part out and run it. If you don't understand, if you have any error, like you check the previous cell to see maybe you're supposed to run the previous cell. But what I try to do is that I will take this part above or below, I run it to see how it is. Take the second part, I run it. Then that's how you're supposed to like understand everything before you create like a function to accommodate all of them. But usually plotting is something that we just do it to see how what we have done. But we are not going to come to this class and discuss about plotting. This is a machine learning class, not a visualization class. So, but it's a good question. At least he has resolved his question now, which makes sense. You must have battled with this for a very long time. It's a good question. I like that, but just for the future, we're not going to talk about visualization in this class.
No,
we're going to use it.
The thing is, even myself, some of the things, it's not like I just wrote it out of my head. All these things are functions. I remember in the first class I said that all you just need to do is, this is math plotting, right? You check their documentation. What do you need to do to plot so. Then you start trying it out one by one. So this function is just, I want to use this same function to do more than this same plotting style to do more than one plotting, right? But there are different things I want to plot. So that's why you're having if and else. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So if you go through it one by one, you find out, you understand what I'm trying to do here. I didn't use this plot just here. I used it somewhere else here. And That's why you're saying if AX is not, it is else. You get. You guys get it, bro?
So go through the load. When you go through the load, if you have any question you can ask. But since you did not go through the load, I don't know how you're going to take it. See, I don't know how, like, to be honest with you, it's sad. It's really sad. I'm really disappointed. Like, I'm being honest, I'm really disappointed with the way this class is going. It pains me that the amount of work some people actually put in, and we are not getting it back. It's sad. It's really sad. Like, I'm really disappointed. Legit, like, genuinely, I'm really disappointed. The fact that it's just two people that want to do it. I don't think I should do better than that, sincerely.
Okay, so what else don't you understand? Then let's just.
The sigmoid function.
The sigmoid function.
The Z was not, like, it was never initialized and it was never stated as Z is something.
Okay.
In the code? In the code? Okay. In real life?
I was the value between
Oh. We didn't use Z. We used theta. Let's go back. This is it.
Go up to where? Or you can say access away. Okay, so now we said you are passing. You get. So if you go down to where you initialize, where you call this sigmoid function, right? Find out that you are passing the value of z. So come to this is it here. Exactly. So this is the value of z. And what you are saying that this is the value of z.
Z is theta transpose x. So that's
you get.
Any other question?
I mean, see, he is able to explain, express his doubt or his confusion, something like that, because he tried it out. But if you didn't try it out, I can't know where your language is. And now I'm trying to do a project where everybody will be in teams, and it's classification problem, and you're supposed to use logistic regression. How will you do it? I won't give you linear regression, like linear regression. After all the suffering, it's the one that is hard that I'll give you.
So this is where we are going to start today. I'm not going to spend, we are not even going to spend much time because we have a lot of stuff. We have to treat regularization, we have multi-class classification, we have neural network. So,
and all these things are interesting stuff. Okay, so now, if you don't understand this one, the one of multi-class classification, you guys are supposed to do handwritten digits detection, right? So what you're supposed to do is, and now you are getting to the interesting stuff. What you're supposed to do is, you will be given a data set of images that are handwritten digits, 0 to 9, right? You are supposed to train a model that will understand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till 9, right? And then if you pass in an image of 1, your model should be able to say this is 1. If you pass it to your model is supposed to say this is 2. If you pass it, you get what I'm trying to say. But if you guys are not able to understand this, honestly, that one will be gibberish. You get it. And but this is not actually too hard. Logistic regression is actually not actually too hard. So guys, please try. We had 7th week we're having breaks this 7th week. There's no class 7th week. So try and brush up on everything we've done. And then also try and participate in the project. Right? In the mini project. It's not like the mini project.
So let's just continue.
Sure.
I was very confused.
Okay.
So, like, I started doing some several courses with Andrew, and
Yes.
he explained, like, what's the regression is why we regularize, why we evolve. In basically, regularization is faster, just for faster computation.
Yeah.
So, and my advice, like to anybody, is to try and do the course, or just for the course, you can't be doing. Then try and brush up your calculus, your matrices. You need to know matrices so that all the things they are doing, just those products and multiplication or amplification. You need to know why when you multiply a matrix like that, so I guess many people understand that. Because it's about confused. Ask how to engineering maths and yes, I didn't understand it and I was frustrated. So that made that one really brush up your maths. And after you brush up your maths, you learn how to compute your maths like with Python. That is my best advice. You learn how to compute it, then you step by step. That is how it gets. Because sometimes I'll get error, I'll just do my laptop. But you just have to just try it. If you don't practice, you cannot get it. That is just true. So that is my suggestion.
Thanks, Joe. And I know we said it in the beginning of the class that we are following Andrenji's course, right? So I did it, and that's what I think we said. No, I'm sure we said it right. That you guys are supposed to first of all go through his course, right? If we are in week 1, you're supposed to have gone through his week 1 class. We don't expect you to understand everything. That's not you. If you might watch it 2 times, 3 times, you don't understand it. I'll tell you the truth. I watched it 4 times. It's true now. So I watched it the first time. I understood it because I was like, "It's not engineering." I studied engineering. 2 weeks later, I forgot everything I learned. I read it again. I understood it. I forgot it again. They said I was supposed to teach. I read it again. You get. So go through it. When you go through it, his course, right? If you go through it, maybe week 1. If you don't understand anything in this week 1 class, we are going to retreat it here. It's the same thing we are doing. The only difference is that he's using MATLAB or Octane, and then we are using Python. You get. So once you go through his course, you come back, ask questions, right? We are all in.
The question is, how many of you are actually taking the course online? How many of you actually watched the last today's class? You're supposed to watch today's class. You come today, you ask your questions. It makes it easier. That's like the best way to do. Let me actually tell you my experience. Like first AI strategy I think for 10 classes. So we are taking CS 2, 3, 1 and computer vision recognition from Stanford University. What I do or what most of us do to them was that we watch the video. We don't understand jack shit. We watch the video. We come to class. We watch the video again in class. We ask our questions. We do collab. Any question you don't understand, why you watch it, you take it up, and you come to class and discuss them. So in that class, like we talked about translational invariant. We are all arguing about translational invariant. So in that class, I learned a lot from that cohort because I didn't really know jack shit about computer vision. So from that class, I learned most of the stuff I knew about computer vision. And one of the major reasons was because I watched the video. I watched all through the video. What I don't know, I write them out. Timeline, like this is 40 seconds, 40 minutes, sometimes 40 seconds, I'll take it down. When I come to class, I will ask them, someone else will ask. If you don't understand, we go online, we search for the answer. That's how we did that cohort. You can ask David, you can ask someone else, you can ask Lauren in the next class. That's how
the point I was frustrated.
And we are all frustrated, but that's how we
frustrated. Well, I went back and watched the videos again.
So the best I would advise you to watch these videos. If you have any question, come to the class, discuss it. We all learn more to discuss it.
So we are good, right?
So what I would advise you to do on this one is you go back. You're not going to see treating this thing again is waste of everyone's time. Let's be honest. We're already lagging behind.
We are far behind.
We are still doing logistic regression. We are supposed to be talking about neural networks. And we can't keep doing this every now and then. It's just like just our life, right? So sorry for making you feel bad, but it's necessary. So what I will do today is I will just explain. We'll run through the code. What you should focus on. Then next week or next 2 weeks, we don't have any class next week. Next 2 weeks, you come with your question. You come with your list of questions.
The funny thing is, ask the question.
You can ask the question on Slack. It makes it easier.
Whatever we are doing here now, right? You have to study these things before you can implement it. They are not using Skype. It's because it's Skype. Some people go and use Skype. Don't use Scikit-learn. Try and do it from scratch. Or even if you're going to use Scikit-learn, do it from scratch, right? Understand the concepts, regularization, what it does, normalization, and all the rest. Understand all the concepts, apply it to your data set. Do you get it? And then see the prediction when you implement it from scratch. After implementing it from scratch, you can also try it Scikit-learn and see how it improves. So what will happen is for the I'll try and complete it today or between today and tomorrow, right? So what will happen is you guys will just pick yourselves in groups, maybe just talk to yourselves. But the rule is this: you must have at least one lady in the group in a team. So guys, start looking for the
We don't have enough ladies to go around.
So if you don't have a lady, you are disqualified. Why? You must have a lady.
Why? I don't understand. There's not enough ladies to go around. They are saying like,
but we'll do like something, maybe a team of 5, right? Team of 5. And you must not have more than 1 or more than 2 episodes. I cannot have 101%.
No. I don't want to, like, you say that like, you are being biased about anyhow they want to put themselves.
The funny thing is that if you explain the people themselves, it will not work.
So today's class is regularization, logistic regression with regularization. So question is, what is regularization? That's the first question. And why do we do regularization? We discussed this last week, so someone should just answer the question. Anyone? No answer is totally useless. What is regularization and why do we apply regularization? And if possible, that should be another question. Like, how do you address overfitting? To the first question, please. Someone going to answer? Or should I answer myself?
Okay, let's start.
You guys wrote something last week. You can go through your document. You can read the answer to me. Is that loud?
Okay. Okay, from what I can see from my notes, for regularization.
Not from me, it's from your notes.
I'm putting my.
Put your notes.
So there's regularization. I can say the problem is. Then.
Okay, by the way, what is overfitting?
Well, how you explain this? How you explain this? Like maybe I have an exam, maybe for tomorrow. I have to read like 1,000 pages. Like what do I read every day? Which will not be effective. So I relate that to my data science.
Why is it not effective?
Because there's no way I can read things like there's no way I can read all pages. That's just like.
If you don't read all pages, does it mean that you understand or you don't understand?
If I don't read it, there's no way I can even read all.
It's not possible for you to read. So that means that you don't understand.
That means I don't understand.
So what other person, what are you going to call that? You don't understand. So when you don't understand, You have not covered. You have not covered. Overfitting is when you have covered all the scenario, but you don't still understand the rest.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. Okay. So for the overfitting, what I'll do is I'll try to select it. I can do the summary or the pick like the important chapters. Then for the overfitting, if we have too many features, the length I guess may not fit the training. Then on the fitting, I don't have enough knowledge. I'll get more knowledge. Because I want to become the best fit. Then what I do for like regularization of the problem of overfitting, I reduce the number of features. I can reduce the number of features.
And how do you select more?
There's something called exploratory data analysis. Yeah. Then I can extract the important features. Then for another option is to keep all the features for reducing parameters. And I can assign I values to the ones that I'm waiting on. There's something called intuition. Reduce their impact by increasing their values. You wrote like I got it from class.
Okay, fine. It's fine.
Okay.
No,
Yeah, that's all right.
That'll be all right. Thank you. Nice to go. Nice to go. I know you're nice to go. Nice to go.
So that's all.
Five.
So what we are going to do here is we are going to generate. Initially, we had two features, right? We have x1 and x2, right? So, but now we want to generate more features. How are we going to do that?
Why are we generating more pictures?
Why are we generating more features? Who has that question?
I did.
You want a better model? Can I have the marker, please? So you know, initially we had just theta 1 and theta 0 and theta 1. That's linear. That's a line. So now you have like theta 1, theta 0, theta 1, and theta 2. Let's say the second one you have like theta 1 squared. You have like a curve, a polynomial. The more you increase the order of the higher order, the more you increase the combination, it becomes curved. So the point of having more features is to make your model robust. That's the kind of point of having more features. Like if you have more features, I'm going to consider more features. And my model is going to have so many things to learn from. It's not just from one feature, from multiple features. Let's say usually it's supposed to be like I'm trying to get the housing price, and I have the length and the breadth of the house. If I have these two separate features, they don't really make any sense. But if I should multiply them together, I'm having the area, right? With area, you can do a lot with that. Makes sense?
One more question. So, how do you know your weight? Because on what I'm talking, when you have two pictures, that's also about it.
Yeah.
How do you know that it's a lot of pictures?
When you do your EDA, you will know what pictures are important. Your correlation matrix will tell you this picture correlates with the probability output. You know that, okay, this contributes at 90% of what you can predict. That picture is important. Probably this one contributes to like 0.0 negligible as well as take that out. But what you're supposed to discuss today is like what we're supposed to talk about when we're talking about neural network. Neural network can take in as many pictures as possible and still give a good result. So now, usually this is what we have. This is where it's supposed to stop. Right? The second one is where it's supposed to stop. We have two pictures. Right? But now, we are combining them. So we have x1 squared, we have x2 squared till infinity. So not really infinity. So when it's up to you to make up your mind where you want to solve. But for in this situation, we started with two features, then we did some combination. We generated more features. So at the end of the day, we had about 28 features from combination and from permutation of these features. So we stopped at 28. So basically, we started with, so we stopped at 28 when we combined them. So that is what we talk about. That's why we're talking about extra feature generation. We started with 2, we are ending with 28. So the next thing is to so this polynomial picture enables us to generate more features. So we are stopping at 6th degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe. Then apply our input, which is x2 underscore raw to the map to the function that we just called. We apply our input to it. So we started with 2. Let me show you that we started with 2. Let's see what this guy is. So we started with 2, right? Now we have 28. Does it make sense, right? Yeah. Then from here, this is our normal cost function for logistic regression. But the new thing now is just this guy here. So what is lambda? Check your notes, please check your notes.
Lambda controls the trade-off between different laws, that is keeping the hypothesis relatively simple to avoid overfitting.
So your lambda is what? You just define lambda. What is lambda?
Like it's the difference between the initial cost and then the new one calculated.
I want to know the meaning of ladder.
Okay.
You are defining ladder for me. Like, I want to know what ladder is before you define it.
Yeah, what are you?
Check your notes, please. Everyone should check their notes. You can check the slide if you want to. Are you answering the question or you are suggesting? So lambda is your regularization parameter. Is it a model parameter or hyperparameter? Why is it hyperparameter?
Because the road is setting this result.
It's not part of the data.
Yes.
Check this slide. You will notice that if we are going to apply our regularization, we usually don't start with the first feature, because our first feature is 0. We have ones on our first feature, right? So we start from what? We start from theta 1, not theta 0. We start from theta 1. So that's why you have j is equals to 1 till n. You understand? Does it make any sense? I don't know, man. You guys should just go back to this stuff, please. Then you run the code. Then this is the cost function. This cost function is regularized cost function. You understand? Then normally you have our normal cost function. Then you now differentiate the cost function with respect to what? Your model parameters, right? Your theta 0, theta 1 till theta n, depending on the number of features that you have. But now we are applying regularization. That means our cost function is regularized, right? We already have we are going to introduce regularization. You have to accommodate for that. So that means your cost function has to reflect regularization, technically. This is just your cost function with regularization. Then when you differentiate your cost function with your regularized cost function with respect to your model parameter, the theta 1 and theta 0, that means this is the result you are going to get. You should do the math. I believe we did the math in class last week. This is the result you are going to get. And so we initialize our theta. So if I may ask, what is the value of our theta? What's the shape of our theta? Initially, you know our initial theta without generation of data was how many theta? We have 2. But now how many theta are we going to have? How many do you think we are going to have? Why 28? So you have 28. So we have 28. So we have 28 features. You need 28 model parameters, right? Fine. Now we are going to train our model. So basically, this is from this is part of side again. Yeah. So basically, we are going to pass a function. The function we want to minimize is our cost function. Our cost function, that's the cost function with regularization. Then you pass your initial theta, which is of shape 28. It's a vector of 28 by 1, basically. But we flattened it, it's just 28. Then we pass our x, our data, right? Generated data. Then we'll pass our y, which is what? Our label. Then this is your regularization parameter. This is the value you are going to change to see how it reflects on your data. On your model, sorry. See how it reflects on your model. So you're going to try 1, 10, and 100. test to see if our to let okay what did you say to let's get a sense of how good the model is. So this is just a testing phase to see how good our model is. But if I may ask, if you are going to test, how many values are we going to supply? How many values are we going to supply? Yeah, like how many values? Like, initially you had 2 values. So now, how are we going to go through that process? You're going to still take 2 values, right? 2 inputs, but you still need to remember that your model input, the size of your input is 18 by something. That means the 2 pictures you have taken in, you are going to apply the polynomial feature on the 2 pictures to give you that 28 input that your model is supposed to take in. That is what you are going to supply to your model. Does it make any sense? Does it make any sense? No. Okay, fine. There is no marker. Is anyone with marker? You have marker. So let's say we have 2 exams. With these 2 exams, not even 2 exams, let's say it's like JAM. Yeah, we have like 4: physics, chemistry, mathematics, and English. And you're supposed to use these 4 exams to determine whether you're going to gain admission or not. Now, I don't know how they do their combination, but let's just stick with that. So we have 4 features now, but we know that our model input is not 4, it's 28, right? So what are we going to do? How are we going to generate that 28? We take the 4 inputs in, but you're going to apply we're going to apply something to those 4 inputs. You're going to combine those 4 inputs. And that is where you're going to apply our polynomial feature on these 4 inputs to have what? 28 inputs. So that 28 input is what you are going to feed to your model. Does it make any sense now? Because if you must have gone through this code, or let's say if you don't know much about regularization, if you go through this code, it's going to be quite confusing. You'll be like, how come we started with 2, now we have 28, and I want to predict I'm supposed to like supply 2 to 28. It's not possible for you to supply 2 to 28. So let me just start again. So this is where you have 2. Then from 2 we go to 28, right? And we use 28 to get 1, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
This is yes or no, whether I am successful or not, whether it's 0 or 1. Yeah. Now, we want to test. This is string. Test. What do we expect? Our still English and math, 2 inputs. Are you going to supply 2 inputs to it, to your model? So what do you have to do? You have to do your polynomial feature, which is like generating extra data to have what? 28 features, right? This is what you are going to supply to your model. This is 1 by 28. It's 28 by 1. Then this is 1 by 1. So 28, you have 28, vectorize it 1 by 28. Your model 28 by 1. At the end of the day, you're going to have just 1 value. This 1 by 1. So this 1 value is either going to be 0 or 1. This is it here. So the most important thing is that your two pictures has to go through this polynomial feature function that will make you generate tweet 8 that you are going to supply to your model. That's like the most important thing here.
Can I ask a question?
Ask.
Now, from 2 to 28, will you train it again?
I'm testing.
Yeah.
We are testing. So this is a train phase, this is a test phase. Yeah. So now, what we did here was that we supplied 3 regularization parameters, 3 values for our regularization parameters. We tried for 0, we tried for 1, and we tried for 100, right? Then, this was the result that we got. This is for 0, this is for 1, this is for 100. So which one will you prefer? Looking at this, which one will you prefer? Why 1? Look at the accuracy too. Look at the accuracy. But don't judge by the accuracy. To me, 1 makes sense. 1 makes sense. So these are things that you're going to play with. Since they're your hyperparameters, you keep changing these values to see what works. Then I think that's all. Then this is really good. This is the question I was asking. So I'm going to predict. I'm going to supply 2 values, test 1 and test 2. So let's say the test 1 is 55. The test 2 is what? Let's say it's 67. Look at this function. It's taking our 2 inputs. This will take input 1, input 2. Then during runtime, then it will you will create an array. Then you pass that array X to our mapping dot fit underscore transform. This is going to generate extra features. This feature is what? 28 by 1, right? You remember? So this is what we are going to use. This is what we are going to supply to our trained weight, which is our model. Then when we supply that, it is greater than a certain threshold. The threshold we are considering is 0.5. If it's greater than that, that means it's successful, that means it's 1. If it's less than that, that means it's 0. So, this is just Python practice. You guys can go and practice. So these are just some tips on how to access arrays. So, yeah. You don't want to, like we apply this somewhere. You know when we apply this? Remember that I said something about our remember this part of your this is your cost functions, right? This is your regularized cost function. So J is starting from 1. It's not starting from 0. And your model, let's say your model, your theta is 1, 0.5, 0.7, 0.29. You don't want to consider this guy. You want to start from 1. So what do you do? If this is A, so it's A what? 0, 1. from 0 on 1, on position 1, everything from position 1. Does it make any sense? Does this stuff make sense? So this is like the way of saying that ignore, start from position 1, start from index 1 to the end. It's going to ignore the first one, which is 0, since it's 0 index. Okay, function, this one?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
That's like P equals 2.x max at straight base. It's greater than or equals to zero. That's intact.
So what
P equals sigmoid.
So this sigmoid,
Yeah. No, like,
this is your Z, remember?
yeah, I'm saying the line. That whole line. I don't understand how it's possible like this. When you have greater than or equals to, you're not supposed to be like an if or something.
Doesn't make sense. This is X mapped. This is what? This is 28 by 1. Right? What's the solution?
That's
It should be an if.
You see this part?
Yeah, that's clear. That's what I'm saying.
We supply the threshold. We supply the threshold ourselves, which is 0.5.
So this thing here, right, is going to give you, this is like the condition.
Yeah.
Okay. What you have here is true, false, true, false, true, false.
Oh, it doesn't make it like the
True, false, true, false, true, false. Okay. So here you're seeing as like int. True would be 1, false would be 0. You get it? 12. You get it? So I know you were expecting if and else. That's they can just do this. So it will become true.
When is standing for the other one? When I
If P is greater than,
So this one is great now.
you can still do it like that.
Okay.
You get it?
And
So it's when I saw the if else, I was like, okay.
Okay, I understand why you're questioning it as well. Sure, I understand questioning that. But another thing I also do is this. Since it's if and else, you're going to have like true, false, true, false. You can convert all your values. You can map it. If it's true, map it to 1. If it's false, map it to 0. That's another thing. You can just create like a function that will map it. You can apply like a lambda function to this that will map all your true to 1, all your false to 0.
But that's what you did there.
That's what you did. So, any other question? So you guys should go through this collab. If you have a question, push it on Slack. Someone is going to attend to you. I will always attend to you on Slack. Like, there is no question on Slack I don't attend to. You know. I always attend to you on Slack. Ask questions. I know last week we didn't read too much because there was no assignment, so that's why the Slack was kind of cold. So this week it's still going to be cold, provided you ask questions. Yeah. So I'm going to push this to the GitHub repo. So today's class is neural network. But what I will just do is I will quickly go through multi-classification, logistic regression. I'll quickly go through that. Then from there we'll just move to today's class. I just want to go through today's. I want to go through today's class as fast as possible. I believe I'm not going to end this class on time, but I really want to end the class on time. have some other things to do to this. So I'm going to push today's code to GitHub, then you guys will find it there. So let me just discuss what you're supposed to do today. So let me just explain what this program is all about. So this is handwritten recognition. No, it's not. It's digital. It's handwritten digital data set. So you have like 1. You have like 0. You have 2. 9. Need 10 to represent, need these values to represent any number, right? Or any one of these. Need 0 to 9 to represent anything. So the point is to classify these characters, not character, classify these digits. You want to classify each and every one of them, like giving a value, let's say something that looks like this. What class is it going to be? Is it going to be in first class? Is it going to be in class of 8, class of 0, or class of 3? That's the whole point. But how do you represent this input? How do they even look like? They look like this. They have like 20 by 20. That is what they actually look like. If you visualize them, they're actually 20 by 20. This is not MNES data set. I don't think so. Kelechi, is it MNES? MNES is 28 by 28. Or maybe it's MNES, they cropped it. We're going to talk about MNES. It's probably MNES, probably they cropped it. But MNES is 28 by 28. But this is just a data handwritten digit. Who's my MNES? I'm not sure. So now, this is how we are going to do it. Our training set is what? It's 5,000. 5,000 by what? 9. By what? 9. What does it mean? What does it mean to have 5,000? You have 5,000 of this. You have 5,000 all together. They are 5,000. So let me not confuse you. It's just 5,000. So now, the question I actually want to ask is, how are you going to represent these features? How are you going to represent these features? These are more or less like each pixel. There's a value. You have like from here to, let's see this value is like 128, 127. This value is like 0. This value is like 1. So the higher the intensity, grayscale is 127, I believe, 0 to 127. Yeah. Hope I've not missed it, but the idea is if there is a value here, if this part is dark, if this particular value is, if this part is dark, it means that there is a difficulty, there's something there. There's the value there is high. If this part is dark, the value is high. But for values that are outside, what do you expect? The values will be low, right? So what basically means is that the parts that have, there is something there, you have high values. The part there is nothing there, you have low values. So that's what it means. So what you do is that, since this is 1, this is just a point. And since this is just a point, this point, there's a value associated with this point. What we can do is we can flatten this value. We can flatten it, we can say it's 20 by 20. What does it mean to be 20 by 20? It means that let's assume that this is 20. And let's assume this is 20. Right? So it means that we can take this part, attach it to this part. We can have like a long vector of what? This is 1 by what? 1 by 400. So you flatten it out. And what is this? What is here? This is picture 1. This is picture 2. Same thing, this is picture 1. This is picture 2. Picture 3 to picture 20. Picture 21 to picture 40. Picture 31 to picture 50. Like that. So what we did was just from here to here, 20, another 20, another 20 to 400. For you to know if it's 400, it's 20 by 20. That's like length times height, length times breadth. Give us area. This is the whole area. So this point is 1 point. This is another point. This is just like when you just flatten it out, this is what you get. You get 20 by 20. This is a vector of what? Of 400. 1 by 400 by 1. So this is a vector, basically. So what we just did now, we flattened it. And each of this is what? One picture. So how many pictures do we need? How many model parameters do we need to build a model? I'm asking you a question, you're asking me a question about So, let's continue. So this is going to be what? Initially we had what? This is 5,000. One of those 5,000, we have 400 inside, right?
Yeah.
So this is going to be what?
5,000 by 20 and 400, yeah.
By 400, right? So this is our what? Our X. How about our Y? What's our Y going to look like? Our Y is supposed to be like either a 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. So what's it going to be? 5,000 by what? 1. Because it's supposed to be either, it's supposed to be in one class. So this is going to be 5,000 by what? By 1. You understand? So if you're going to build a model, how are we going to do it? Yeah, how are we going to do it?
5,000 by 400, that's multiplied by 400.
First of all, let's start with this. What's our model parameter going to look like? Our theta transpose X. Let's start with that. So that is what?
1 by 400.
Then our x is what?
5,000 by 400.
Is what?
5,000 times 400. Yes.
Pick one x.
1 by 1.
Okay, 5,000 by what? But we are going to transpose this guy, right? So we're going to have what? What's our theta, please? 400 by 1. Then our x, let's pick one of it. Let's just pick one of it, which is what? 400 by what? By 1, right? So we'll transpose this guy. What are we going to get? So what are we going to get? You understand? So pick one instance. But if you want to pick all instances, how are we going to do it? What are we going to change? We change this value, we change this one. So it's going to be 5,000. Then this is going to be what? 5,000. Yeah. Do you guys understand this step?
No.
Okay, what part? This is one value strip. This is just one value. This is one picture of one. Then what did we do? We flattened it. So it's now 20 by 20, which is 1 by 4,000. 1 by 400. We have that, right? Now, which is what? Which is our x, right? So we have what? What do we have? 1 by 400. Right? Then the second one is what? Theta. What's our theta? It's 400 by 1. This is 400 by 1. Row, column. So, what do you have? So, what's next then? Power theta. What do you have for power theta? I'm asking. 400 by 1. So, what are we supposed to do? No, what are we supposed to do? This transpose. So, what do we have? At the end of the day, what are we getting? This is matrix. This is vector multiplication, right? Yeah.
Why is the theta and the x?
This is matrix vector.
Why is theta and x the same?
Why is
Theta and x? Why are they the same?
theta and x?
They are the same now. You have to transpose it to
They are not the same. Like, I'm dealing with the dimensions. They are not the same value. I'm just dealing with the
yes,
dimensions.
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, how are the dimensions? I'm trying to understand. Like, how are the dimensions the same?
How are the dimensions the same?
Do you understand the question?
I'm coming. How are the dimensions the same? This is 20 by 20.
Yes.
This is your input.
Yes.
How many model parameters do you need to accommodate for this? 4 400, which is what? This guy here. This is your input. Input is 400 by 1. So when you multiply both of them together, you're supposed to get like a value, one value.
Okay, the theta is the amount of value inside there.
The theta is supposed to accommodate for the number of pictures that you have. Let's go back to our linear regression. That's where we all started. So we have theta 0, theta 1, x1. How many pictures do we have here? Provided we are considering what's our bias. But let's be honest, like how many pictures do we have here? We have one. We have one picture. We also have this guy here. This picture here. What's the size of this? This is just one. One by anything. This is just one. Now we added bias. Our bias is what? X naught. I'm not even talking about bias in this one. There's bias, but I just said to skip the bias, everything clean. So we added bias. So how many pictures do we have? We still have one plus bias makes our input. Our input increased by 1. That means we have 2, right? Fine. So in this situation, we have what? 2 by transpose x. What's our x? Our x is what? Our x is what? I'm asking now that what's our x? 1, 2. How many? What is it? What is the dimension? 2 by what? Then what's our theta? 2 by what? Then you transpose, right? You have what? 1 by 2, 2 by 1. What do you have? 1 by 1. Apply the same thing here. So what is our x? First of all, what is our x? Our x is what? 1 by 400. 1 by 4, 400 by 1. 400 by 1. Our picture, how many numbers of picture parameters do we need? Model parameters do we need? We need 400 by something to accommodate for that, which is this guy. Then we transpose, we got this guy. This is just for one instance. I'm not going to be talking about all instances. Makes sense now? So any question?
If you want to go from the whole training example, do you have to start with pictures like what the value of x or it just okay, this one is for what I'm just saying, like since there's one thing we are identifying different numbers.
Yeah.
Is it you like you do them separately or you start all of them together?
The pictures you're talking about or
Yes,
what?
the pictures. You just start all of them together, then you get like a matrix. And
Yeah, it's still matrix. You're still using matrix. Yeah. So what we just did now was that we have 5,000 by 400, right? Then this is our x. Our y is what? 5,000 by what? 1. So pick the first one. Pick the first input. You see whether it is in the right class or not. This is where the multi-classification comes in. So yes, when we talk about multi-classification, what are you even talking about? How did I even address it? Yeah, exactly, because I'm just talking about multi-classification. No one is even answering. Remember when we talked about this guy? Right? So how are you going to solve this problem?
One versus all.
One
Versus all.
One versus all. Thank you. One versus all. So you get a classifier.
Versus all.
One, either is in this class or is in the other class. You get another classifier. Either is in this class or in the other class. get another one, either it's in this class or the other class. That's 1 versus 4. Then at the end of the day, what are you supposed to do? You pick what? The one with the what? When you get the one with the highest probability, what are you going to do? The class. Pick the index. So, you understand? Let us do the code review on it. So here we have 5,000 by 5,020 examples. So it's 5,000 by 400. What we did was that we flattened it.
Excuse me. What do you mean by flattening?
We are now.
Can you just like tell me 1 word or 2 words? Just 1 word. So like another word that makes sense.
Squeeze. Shrink is very squeeze.
Like shrink.
So when you squeeze something, so when you squeeze an array, it loses 1 dimension.
How many dimensions are there?
When you squeeze vector, what are you going to get?
When I squeeze vector, like vector, physics vector, or what kind of what kind of vector are we talking about? The vector carries something into your
It's not vector.
what kind of vector?
So
Something like
this is what is this? What is it?
like matrix
What is
that has
this?
1,
What is
2, 3.
this? Tell me the shape of
That
this.
is the shape of this.
Yeah. First of all, what's this? Is this matrix, vector, or scalar? Let's start with that.
It's
I'm
like
talking about
matrix.
you. Talking about you.
Like
What is
matrix.
this is a matrix.
I just know that with this, from what I learned way back, the matrix always has this.
So let's take it to BAR, right?
I don't know what that means.
Let's go back to what you learned way back.
Yeah. I know where we're at.
This is a vector.
Okay. So what makes it a
This is a
vector?
scalar.
What makes it a vector?
Relax.
Okay.
This is a scalar. This is a matrix.
Okay.
Sometimes you might have square matrix if the rows and columns are the same.
Okay.
So now, this is a vector. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is what? 4 by what?
4 by 1.
Right?
Okay.
Row, column.
Row column.
You see, this is n by n. This is just 0. In computer science, or let me stick with mathematics, in my own sanity, a value, a single value, continuous or whether it's digit, whether it's continuous or integer or whatever it is, or I say continuous, whether it's a floating point, whether it's a float or a discrete value, it is standing alone.
Okay.
It is a scalar.
Okay.
If it's grouped together,
Okay.
but it has a size of 1, it is a vector.
Okay.
As n by n, if the size is n by n, it is what?
A matrix.
It's a matrix.
Okay.
But not necessarily, not okay, yeah, it's a matrix. Let's stick with that. It's a matrix.
Okay.
Then we have tensor, when you have multiple dimensions.
Alright.
So it can be n by another n.
Alright.
By another n. Let us say, want to
What do you
represent
say that
volume.
means?
You want to
Tensor.
represent the volume. We have length times breadth, then the height.
Yeah.
So you can do that
Yeah.
in another form. So basically, this is what I'm talking about. I have a vector.
Vector, okay.
Now, in NumPy, there's what we call flatten
Okay.
or squeeze.
Okay.
This is what? This is 4 by 1. If you should squeeze it, you're going to have 4, comma.
Okay. What happens to the 1?
That's why it says flat.
Okay.
That's been squeezed.
So
Like
how did
taking
I
one
flatten?
dimension
What did I
out.
do to flatten it?
So it's flattened.
What did I do? Like, what operation, what What function?
We discussed this in last week now. Latin. I actually tried one myself. Dot travel. So.
Okay, but understand, thank you.
No. So we have X contains 5,000. Each image is 20 by 20 pixel, which is what we discussed the other time, and has been en route to become 400 by 1, right? This means that each pixel is a picture fed into our model. This part makes sense, right? So we flatten it, we unroll it and feed it into our model. Makes sense? Then our Y is a classification of each image, 1 to 10. But here, 10 is written 0. So this is basically 0 to 9. If you're starting from 0 to 9, that means you have 10 classes. Now, you should remember, this is not a visualization class, but we are going to visualize. Yeah. So what we did was that we I'm listening. Okay.
But from that question we read out, I have a question about that. Can you go back? You just said
This one, right?
no. One about the 20 by 20. So 5,000 20 by 20. So although 400. Yes. Now I understand what just happened. Essentially, all 20 by 20 just make 70. My question is why would you want to do that?
Why?
Why?
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's a good question.
Yeah, apart from that,
the reason why we are doing that is partly because of vector operations. We want to represent the problem in form of theta transpose x. We want our x to be in what form? What do we want our x to be? We don't want it to be, our x is 400, right? It's 20 by 20. It's actually 20 by 20. But in this situation, we know that each point is a feature. There's supposed to be a model parameter attached to each point. And for you to have like a model parameter attached to each point, you have to like flatten all your pictures. You have to make it easy for you. You have to make your picture easy. You have to present your picture in such a way that you can do this matrix operation. So the only way you can do it, not necessarily the only way you can do it is actually to flatten it. Make all of them be in one single line. Then you look for a model parameter and attach to each and every one of them. So when you are training, you are actually training, you are adjusting those model parameters, the values of those model parameters. So basically this is just a way of representing your input. You can represent your input anyhow, but this is like a way in which when you represent your input properly, it makes your matrix operation fast. This is just for convenience, for mathematical convenience. This is just a way of representing it. So the whole point is that you have to like flatten it. Each feature, you attach a model parameter to each feature. Does it make any sense?
Yeah.
It doesn't. Make sense? Yeah. Can you figure it out? Okay, fine. So, yeah, that makes sense. And also, what we're supposed to actually discuss today, neural network parts. Let me just keep it like that.
So,
I can teach me everything.
Like the answer that I was asking the image, if you look at it like this, image in pixel, right? All of those pixels have values. And because they have values, they are usually three-dimensional values. If you're running analysis on,
They're dealing with, sorry for going down, they're dealing with grayscale.
yeah,
Just have one
yes,
channel.
I'm just trying to, because basically pixels, these pixels, they have a center point, they have the cardinal point, they have multiple values per pixel point. If you're running an analysis on this an image like this, it's usually better for you to, I want to do what let's say, collate all your values on the row. That way it's easier to iterate. You can, it's like putting 1, 2, 3, 4 and then adding all of the pixels and all of the values to the points. Each pixel has from 1, 2, 3, 4 and center, so that's like 5 points. They are breaking down all of these values into a row so that you can attach, like you said, your model parameter. So all these values can be your X, for example, and then you have your Y. That you can run an analysis over.
So, let's do something here. Let's say this is 1 here. Let's say we have 0. 28, 128, 128, 128, 128, 128, 128, 0, 0, 0, 0. We want to locate this feature. What's the position of this feature? X1, X3. Give you what? Give you 128. Does it make any sense? You want to locate this one? X2, X3. But now, very much. So this is just like, instead of going through this route, what you can also do is that you just take each and every, you take this part, you stack them up. This is quite difficult to represent. Like, if you go this route, it's quite difficult to represent. Let's be honest. Like, it's quite difficult to fit something like this to your model. Instead of going through this route, what you do is that you just flatten it up. When you flatten it up, you fit them into your model. So the whole point of going through this route is just to tell you that, okay, this is a way of pinpointing your features. Like, what is the value of this feature? What is the value of this feature? It's just like a way of pinpointing it. But the whole idea, what I want you guys to kind of, the question you asked is actually very important because I was just trying to like mix it, like kind of think about it, and to be honest, it's actually a very important question. So what you have to do is, the point of flattening it is just for you to attach a model parameter to each and every of this feature. So instead of going through this route, you flatten it, you know that, okay, there's a model parameter here, there's a model parameter for this guy, there's a model parameter for this guy. So in the future class, we're going to talk about CNN, whereby you don't necessarily have to like flatten it. You just run a coordinate, a kernel over this input, then you get a value. So this is just a, for now, stick with this. Makes sense? If you have any questions, you can ask. This is 3. Are you sure you don't ask your question? Ask questions.
Well, you said you had to a very quick question. What problem are we trying to solve by flattening it? You say the one word.
What are you trying to, what's the question?
What problem are we trying to solve by flattening it?
Does anyone want to answer the question?
What problem are we trying to solve by flattening it?
Can you listen? Listen to. You want to answer the question? Yeah, you can. Can you speak up, please? Can you speak up so we can hear, so we learn, so
Why do I want to ask access? Sorry, the question.
You must answer that.
No. Okay. Column name. Okay.
So what change
You listen to it more than what you write. Very
Don't worry.
important.
Okay.
change pixels to our
Okay. I change the pixels to column.
So we want to have a straight line of column name.
Okay. Okay.
Do you guys really understand this stuff? Because I think I have to go through it more simple. Like,
Yeah, I understand. I understand.
So, I got the better insight. I like what you said. I like the way you described it. So, each and every of these values is a picture.
Okay.
Each and every of these values is a picture. You want to access each of these features. That's the point of flattening it. You understand? I like that answer. Like, when you flatten it, you can access each feature. This is a feature, this is a feature. There's a value in this feature, there's a value in this feature, there's no value in this feature. So the point of it is to flatten it so you can have easy access to each of those features. Does it make any sense now?
Yes.
So this is a feature in this position, this is a feature in x2, x3, this is a feature in, let's say it's xn, xn. So you want to access it. And point of correction. Let's think with coordinate this. This is x0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So let's think with coordinate. So at point 1, 0, we have 0. 1, 1, we have 0. Let's think with coordinates. Then if you don't have each of them, just coordinates. Makes it easier to do. If you're trying to get a point, it's not x1, x2, x3. You understand what I just did now? These are just indexes of accessing these values. So the whole point of flattening is for you to have what access to the features. So from here, we don't really have much time, so we just have to just go through this code as fast as possible. But I'll just try to like give you guys like go back before what it is, so you can always go back and try the code out. If you have any question, you can come back and ask. You can ask on this level. So what we did here was that we selected 400. So we selected about 400 samples. We wanted to visualize 400 samples. Then we randomly selected this is 5,000 by from 5,000 select 400. So then distinct values. And also, how many was our? Let me just try this one. Let me show you what I'm talking about. We want to access. We want to use this notebook. Let's say I don't understand this line. So you come here, E, then paste. What does this tell you? We have what? Our Y, right? We have 10 unique values on our Y. Our Y is what? 5,000 by 1. But we have 10 unique values. And those 10 unique values are what? 0 to 9. This is how you run through Colab. It's supposed to be like this is how you see Colab. You down here notebook. See it like your notebook, like your rough sketch. You can take it apart to anything you want to do with it. Don't see it as if it's like your exam script. It's not your exam script. It's a notebook. Play with it. If you bump into error, you can just go online and check. So this is how I go through code. If I don't understand any code, I take them apart. You understand? So now we have learned that we have we already know that, but this is just like a proof that we have 10 classes. So we are going to select 400 samples. Then this is just a way of visualizing. This is not going to be okay. So now we have this. So next thing is to you remember this. We did this topic in class last week. So now we are going to consider the bias. And if you are going to consider the bias, what are we going to have? What is it going to be? What's it going to be? We used to have 5,000 by what? By 400. If you consider the bias, what are we going to have? 401, right? Because we added one column, which is 1. We added the column, which represents our bias. So let's see the shape of that. We can do this in another way. I'm not going to talk about that now. So this dot shape. So we have 5,000 by 401, right? Then our normal stuff, this is your sigmoid function. Then let's run this. This is your cost function. This is your cost function with what? Regularization. Then you remember the gradient. When you differentiate the cost function with respect to what? The model parameter. So what are we differentiating with respect to? What's the side of our model parameter? 400 by what? 400 and what? 400 by what? 400 by what? Come on now, let's go. 400 by what's the size of our model parameter? 400.
No. 400 by 5,000.
No, let's forget about the training example. I'm not talking about the training example, the size of the training. I'm talking about the model. What's the size? It's 400. Let's just say we have 400 pictures. Plus bias, what do you have? For what we are going to do regularization, what part are we considering? We are considering 400. We are ignoring the column with bias. So you do your normal thing, yeah? But for this guy, you are doing your regularization. You are considering what? From J is equals to 1 to N. So from 1 to 400 to 401. You're supposed to start from 0 to 401. But we're starting from 1 to 400. 401. Does this make any sense? Yeah. There's no harm in doing it every time. What he thought regularization is when you don't have enough features. No?
No, when you have more.
When you have more features. Not enough features, when you have more features. And when you have more features, you encounter overfitting. So you apply regularization to minimize that effect. So go through the code. If you have any question, ask. Not in class, like ask next class. Or you drop it on Slack. So yeah, what we did was that we initialized our theta. Let me just explain it. I did this the last time when we talked about cost function. This is gradient with regularization. So let me just talk about there's a particular part I want to talk about. So we initialize our models with what? With zeros. But to be honest with you, sometimes it's not usually advised to initialize your models with zeros, because you might initialize your model with 0 and your model might be stuck. Your model parameter might be stuck somewhere. Might be stuck in one of those local minima, or you might not escape one of the local minima. So sometimes what you do is that you initialize your model with random numbers. You just initialize them with like random numbers. So with random numbers, it's not that you have to like start from zero. That's you start with like different, to take different numbers as inputs, but basically you're going to throw in random numbers. So from there it learns. But sometimes when you initialize with zero, you might be stuck with local, in the local minimum. So it's always advised to initialize it or your model parameter with what random numbers.
When you say random number, you mean
This is the part I'm talking about.
So instead of like
Rand, yeah, something like that. So, and yeah, another thing is just that when you initialize with random numbers, it makes your model kind of train fast when you try random numbers. And when you initialize with zero, it's like I'm starting from zero to somewhere. But when I try with random numbers, some places, the random numbers you started with might be close to where you're supposed to. Your body is supposed to arrive. So you can as well as just start with random numbers. So from there, our usual way of optimizing, you pass your cost function, you pass your initialized theta, you pass your inputs, your outputs, your regularization parameter. So this is what you're going to pass. And then from there, so this is the one versus all. So from there, this is the value. This is the model parameter. This is the model parameter. So the one versus all. We have discussed the one versus all. But basically, the whole idea is that if you have zero, let me just start with one. If you have one, I want to talk about what we call one-hot encoding. If you have one, it means that I have, let me start with zero. Let's start with zero. If my value is zero, I need my index to be 1. If my proposition 0, if my prediction is 1, I need the value of index 1 to be 1, purpose for prediction 1. If it's 2, I need this index to be 1. So the whole idea is instead of having like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till 9, you just have a value for the positive class. You understand? So this is one-hot encoding. This is what we call it. One-hot encoding. So the one signifies that there is a class. There's a value for this class. So there's a value for this class. This is class 1. This is class 0. This is class 1. There's a value for this class. This value is 1. For this one, there's a value for this class. This class is 2 because at index 2, 0, 1, 2, there's a value for it. So this is this is what we call one-hot encoding. At least today, this is what we call it. So, you see your normal stuff here. So, you should remember what I told you the last time. What does this mean? What does this mark mean? What does it tell you? What does it mean? Pick the class with the maximum probability. So you have like, let me just give you an instance. Let's assume that this is 0.8, this is 0.1, 0.25, 0.25, 0.25. This would give us 0.5. Yeah. 0.05, 0.01 plus 0.1, that's 0.2 plus 0.8, this one altogether is just supposed to get 1, right? Yes or no? So let's assume that this is our maximum.
Okay.
This is our maximum. This is the one with maximum value, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, this is 0.8. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, how many classes do we have here?
6.
6. So what class has the highest probability?
Class 4.
0, 1, 2, 3. Starting from 0, this class.
Okay,
4.
exactly.
This
Fourth
one,
class.
this is for the fourth class here, exactly. So what that actually means is that pick the probability, pick the class with the maximum probability. And what's the class with the maximum probability? This guy here.
Yeah.
So it's going to pick the class with the maximum probability. That's what that alt mass actually means.
And then what's it plus 1? That plus 1.
Go through the code. Ask me the question when you go through the code. So in this situation, the accuracy is 93.16, which is quite good for logistic regression. But with neural network, which we are going to discuss today, its accuracy is going to increase. So I said I don't really have much time, so I'll just have to like switch to today's class. You guys should try it. So this is where it failed in some cases. So you predicted what? 3. But does this look like 3?
No.
This looks like 2. Predicted 3, this is 3.
Yeah.
6, this is 6.
Yeah.
0, this is 0.
Yeah.
5, this is 5. So the class is that okay, incorrect. So these are the incorrect classes. So this is predicted 4, but it's 2. Predicted 8, so it's 2. 6. So this is quite funny because this kind of looks like 9. Let's be honest, some extent looks like 9, but it's actually 4. Like this one, it looks like, okay, let's use this. So this guy looks like 0, it depends, but it's 6. So this guy is 9, but we detect 0. So what can you observe about this? What did you say? What's not smart? Oh, you are not smart. You are not so shitty. See, this is what you should learn. This is the takeaway from this. data is very important. Like, if you want your machine learning model to learn something good, you need to have good data. So whatever you throw at it is what is going to give you back. There is no free lunch. So if you give it funny data, you get funny results. So that's the end of today's supposed class. So what I will just do today now in the next 40 minutes is just to talk about neural network. Then talk about neural network. I'm not going to do much maths today because I assume that you are saturated and you already have work to do, which you have not done. So you go through this, you go through the last one we did, which is logistic regression with regularization. You have 2 works already, so you go through this and the last one. Then the neural network, we'll discuss it the next 2 weeks. So we just have to do an overview of what neural network is. We'll just talk about what is happening with neural network, then we'll move on. So the next 2 weeks we'll come back, we go into the details, like we do the maths and we do some other stuff, we do the code review. So even here we have like neural network. You can use the neural network. So if you are adventurous, provided like after going through today's class, with the little you will learn from today's class, or the most you learn from today's class, you can try this out to see, to solidify your knowledge. But we're going to go through this next week. Next 2 weeks, we are not doing anything now. We're going to go through this next week. So go through this code, ensure you understand. Now you have 3 works now. You have neural network, you have logistic regression, you have regularization, you have multi-class classification problem, and you have the new problem, neural network. So you are going to go through the notebook. If you have any question, post it on the Slack channel. That channel is too boring. Like, I don't know what's happening because we don't have assignments. I feel your pain. But I don't want to be honest with you, the reason I don't want to give you guys assignments is because you are not doing much. You have not done the last one. Like, I can't give you another one back to back. Like, I have conscience, you understand? So, it's not as if I'm being considerate. Of course I'm being considerate. Yeah, I'm being considerate. But I just feel that rushing the class without you understanding this topic, no one is going to be. It's like they lose situation on both sides. Okay, I'm doing neural network today. Like, I want to do neural network. I started the class. I'm just going to neural network. What have I done? If I've not done this stuff, what have I done? I just have a started neural network. It doesn't make any sense. So that's the reason we are slowing it down. But we can't continue slowing it down. That's just the truth. So now we are going to switch to neural network. So probably by the end of neural network class, that's next 2 weeks, you understand what these things are. But now you already know what one-hot encoding is, right? Yeah. You have been doing multi-classification, come on. Yeah. Then, and it, you know what activation function means?
Yeah.
What's an activation function?
Like activation function is like point or
And you said yes.
activation is like a function that produces like whether it's linear regression, sigmoid, tangent, or rainbow or different and like just different points. Like a linear regression is line goes straight like this, while a logistic regression the line goes like an S.
Do you have activation function for a linear regression?
No.
No.
No, I'm just saying that different
Thank
things.
you. Oh, yeah, right. I just wanted to ask that question.
No.
Yeah. That's it. So you know what activation function is, then you know what higher order function. Let me not start with this one. You know what higher order function is? Don't tell me no, because I talked about polynomial features. That's higher order. Don't tell me no. Like I'm not going to take that as an answer. What is your logistic function? What does it do? Can you speak up, please? What does it do? Let's say I want to classify 0 or 1. That's you apply what your activation function, your sigmoid function to it, right? It's going to activate if it's 1, if it's 0, it stays where it is. So that's why you call it activation function. It's supposed to be like a step function. If it is true, put it in this class. If it's false, don't do anything. I'm just giving you don't mix it up. I'm just giving you an instance of what it is. So you're supposed to use to step. It's a step function, basically. You're supposed to use to take you're supposed to convert your input, your input, then you step into whether you're supposed to use it to like put your input in this class, whether it's in a positive class or in a negative class. It enables you to do that. Without that, and why do we even do that? Why do we do that?
After when it is 0, there's no slope again in the sigmoid function. Like the slope is equals to 0. Like at the Z, like 1 and 0, the slope is flat. That like the shape of
the reason why we have it to be 0 or 1 is because we know that usually our output, our theta transpose x can range from minus to positive infinity.
Yeah.
So the whole idea of applying activation function is to shrink that value between 0 and 1. So the question is, what is activation function? Exactly. A sigmoid function is one of the activation functions. We have tan H, we have Brelo. I explained that the other day. No, I'm not sorry. I'm not. I just. That's the reason I like doing this review, this buzzword review, because you see it somewhere probably in a textbook or something. Like, I don't know what activation function, but on a low, you know what activation function is. It's just like throwing words. We call it logistic function. We call it sigmoid function. Both of them are the same thing. So maybe what's that? 835. 835. 335. Around 935. So let's. How many of you are familiar with total? Okay, let's start with StarCraft. How many of you are familiar with StarCraft? It's a game. Total 2. How many of you are gamers? Let's start with gamers. Let's start with the gamers.
I used to.
You used to. That means you're not a gamer.
My university games,
So, I think this was like 2 years ago or last year. We have this research. Let me not call it research. AI startup. It's actually a very big AI startup. The name of the AI startup is DeepMind. So DeepMind was acquired by Google. I think it was in 2016 or 2014. I can't actually remember the time they acquired. Google acquired DeepMind. So the goal of DeepMind is to solve intelligence. Like when I'm talking about intelligence, whatever form of intelligence, whatever dimension intelligence is, they want to solve the whole intelligence. Be it vision, be it language, be it perception, like whatever it is, they want to solve it. So, and what is close to us? Like what do you have as reality that is close to us? Apart from reality, virtual reality. I'm talking about what? Games. Games are like the closest thing to reality. Simulations are like the closest things to reality. So the idea is if you can perform well in the simulator, even in pilot school, in this thing, in pilot school they do that. If you can perform well in the simulator, you can perform well in real life because you have modeled the real life in a simulator. So this is a game, and this game we call it multi. Is it multi? I can't remember what they call it, but it's more or less like multi what? Yeah, multi what? Yeah, multiplayer something. So, but the idea is that you have to have like different players online, and they are supposed to like interact with the game and win. And usually, it's difficult, even as a player, to play this game. More or less like build an agent that will navigate the environment and also succeed in this game. So the idea is, if you can get an agent that can play better than a human, like this game is technically it's useless because you have exceeded human performance. So the whole idea in AI most times is they see human as a benchmark. If I can beat human performance, this task is over. Like if I can recognize something better than human, like let's forget about this task, it's over. So now their task was to play this game and to see whether they can outperform humans. And when they played the game, when they trained an agent that was able to interact with the environment, and what's the input of this agent? What do you think would be the input? Like your features, what would be the features? What do you think would be the input, your features, what do you think would be the feature? Game setting, the game state, right? Like if I'm in this state, that's input. If I should move, that's another. Yeah. You can see this is how you represent problem. This is what you call problem formulation. How you're going to represent your problem in such a way that when you train your agent, it's supposed to learn given this state. So the whole idea is that at this particular state, it's computationally intensive because videos are like pictures in time frame. Yeah. Videos are like pictures in time frame. So imagine that you're taking like a snapshot of each and every. You can take this as an input. Another thing you can take the coordinates of the agent. I'm in X and Y position, and my enemy is in this position. So, given this coordinates, I should do something. So, what do you think would be the action? What do you think you should? What will be the action space? Like, what's the output? What do you want it to do? What can the output be? To kill, to shoot, right? To run away. to ignore. So the action space is basically what the agent can do. I can move in X, I can move in Y, I can shoot, these are like the action space. You understand? So I just want to use this as an example to tell you that, see, this is not just every now and then you have your housing price and like you have better things to do apart from housing price. So this is a reinforcement learning problem. This is a reinforcement learning problem. You have your agents, you have an environment. Your agents will interact in the environment. By interacting with the environment, there will be a reward. So within
like what's the capacity is human capacity?
Not necessarily. The whole idea is, so it's not even about human capacity. The whole idea is to tell you that, see, your agents can do better. That you can have agents that can interact in an environment that is as good as human. You should stop seeing it as exceeding human capacity, because fine, the agent can exceed human capacity here, but does the agent really know what it takes to? Does he really understand what it means to win? To him, winning is just like I'm having high score, but to us, winning might be something else. To us, winning might be, okay, I'm on top of that leaderboard, and to us, winning might be, okay, I've won $30,000. So while you guys are building model, you should always know that, okay, you should talk about model interpretation. Does this model, does it have like real life consequences? To an agent, I'm just playing a game. But to you, you're not just playing a game. There might be an external reward. But to the agent, I'm just playing a game. So that's just by it. So this is image classification, right?
Is it similar to pattern recognition?
Yeah, similar to that. So why this is your Google Assistant, right? So this is your Google Assistant. This is an agent that was built by OpenAI. So the agent is interacting. This is actually climbing the staircase. It's climbing the staircase. So all these things actually have in common is neural network. That's what all this stuff actually have in common. So you apply not just neural network. You have different classes of neural network. You have for visual problem, like in this particular case. You apply your RNN, your LSTM, which stands for long short-term memory. No, this is for visual. You apply your CNN. Why for this case? You might likely apply both of them because you are taking visual and you are taking visual, but this visual is not just anyhow visual. It's like visual on time scale. That means you are taking videos. While in this situation you are dealing with just audios. So definitely you might just apply the RNN. And that is not just applying RNN. You can also represent your sound. You can represent them as a spectrogram. You can picture your sound, and that you can apply CNN now. So it's all about how you represent your inputs. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about it. So the next slide. How many things do we have? 10. So supposed to talk about initially, but I'll just make it short. So I think this guy here, these two guys, were the first to come up with the idea of adjustable weight. You guys know what adjustable weight is? You guys know what adjustable weight is? Yes. You know when I talk about adjustable, what am I talking about? Gradient descent, right? Yeah. So you came up with this idea of adjustable weight, but not necessarily gradient descent. That you have to, when you change your weight, your model length. Then this Frank Rosenblatt was the first person to actually build a model, not just anyhow model, a model that can solve a lot of problems. So the model that he built was actually called perceptron. So during the 50s, when Rosenblatt built that perceptron, perceptron solved a lot of problems. Like they used it, so just like a single layer, a single unit, just a logistic unit. They applied it to a lot of problems. It solved a lot of problems. But what they actually did that kind of screwed them was that they said that you can use perceptron, a single perceptron, to solve any problem in the world. And when they made that comment, Marvin Minsky and Sigmund Pepe, they wrote a paper. They said no, you can't use you can't use a perceptron to solve all problems. Perceptron cannot solve the XO problem. So when they went back through the truth, perceptron can solve the XO problem. So the whole research that was going through, that was being done in neural network went up. Because usually you expect governments, the military, to invest in research. It is the duty of the government, especially in the 50s, when the issue of Cold War and all that stuff we have. So it was the responsibility of the government to invest in research. And by looking at the report, imagine when probably your superior must have like, okay, I'm looking at this report. There's nothing happening in perceptron. There's nothing happening in neural network. You know what? In perceptron, let's just forget about it. You're not going to you're not going to allocate budget to that. So other areas of machine learning were booming. We are actually they were in development because a lot of resources were being pumped into them. So the next thing that happened was that this guy here, Jeff Hinton, so I think it was this year, Jeff Hinton won the Alan Turing Prize for the work he did in neural network. It's not just Jeff Hinton, Joshua Benjo, and what's the last guy's name? Yan LeCun. So Jeff Hinton is in Google. Joshua Benjo is in University de Montreal. While Yan LeCun is the current AI director of Facebook. So this work, they actually gave them this award based on what they did like probably 30 years ago. So it's more or less like their work is actually very significant to us. So before we go to that, so let's assume that we are still in the 50s. So he has been working on neural network. He liked the idea of neural network. He feels that maybe neural network is going to solve a lot of problems. So he felt that, no, let me work on neural network. And before that, this guy actually started with, I think he started with carpentry. Then he did psychology, then he did philosophy, then he went into biology, computational biology. Then he was like, no, let me go back to computer science. So he tried a couple of different stuff. And by looking at the fact that he worked in neural network, you see how trying different stuff, like you don't necessarily have to stay in one point in your life. You need to like try different stuff to see what works for you. And by combining knowledge are actually transferable. Like the fact that he exposed himself to psychology, philosophy, biology, now computer science, knowledge is actually transferable. So to cut the whole story short, at this particular time range, so from 1970 to 1980, the experience what we call AI with that. So at that particular place, there was no much development in AI. And in particular, there was no much budget for research in neural network and code. So there was not much research. So, but in 1986 was when multi-layer neural network actually came in place. So what actually happened was that usually the problem they had before was that they were using one logistic unit. Imagine using one logistic unit to solve a lot of problems. They discovered that that is not sufficient. So what they did was that they took multiple logistic units, they stacked them in one layer. That's what we're talking about, multi-layer perceptron. We have multi units of logistic units all in one layer. So they stacked them in one layer, and with that, it gave the model more capacity to solve more problems. So this was when they discovered multi-layer perceptron. Then, while all these things were happening, other areas of artificial intelligence, in particular support vector machine, were booming. And this guy, what's his name? Barney, he worked on support vector machine. He did a lot of work on support vector machine. And the beautiful thing about support vector machine is that provided you formulate your problems, provided you formulate your input well, it will give you good results. It's not like I'm going to just give it random input, then give me good results. Provided I formulate my input well, if I arrange my input in such a way that it's going to understand, it's going to give me good results. So that's exactly what happened here. Then in 2000 early 2000, another thing that actually made neural network effective was data. So the internet brought about mobile phone. Everyone have their own device, everyone have a mobile phone, if not one or two. We have computer. So we had huge amount of data. And one thing that makes neural network actually requires huge amount of data. And huge amount of data with good compute. That's I'm talking about your computational warehousing, your computational power. Huge data plus compute plus what again? Data compute plus the algorithm. So data plus good algorithm, you have good results. So during all this time, he has been doing a lot of research in neural network. He has been improving. He has been doing a lot of stuff. We'll definitely go through, probably in the future, we'll go through what these steps are. So by then, they have solved this export problem. And how did they solve this export problem? Instead of using one logistic unit, you have multiple logistic units all stacked in a layer. You can use it for better representation. Then, next slide, please. So, this is just history. What's this guy's name again? Can you go back? So, Rosenblatt, Mark 1, perceptron, discovered perceptron. Then in 1969, it criticized perceptron because perceptron could not solve all the whole problem. Then, during this particular phase, AI experienced winter. There was no much thing being done during this phase. Then in 1986? But 1986, the first multi-layer perceptron was actually discovered by this guy, Yon Levu. But it was in 1998 that he used the multi-layer perceptron, not just multi-layer perceptron, he used a CNN, convolutional neural network, to train that handwritten recognition, this problem that we solved. He used it to train, because back then they all worked in Bell Lab. So Bell Lab was like the Google of today. Okay. It was like the Google of today, where you have like a lot of smart people bumping into one another. So they all work in Bell Lab and they kind of share ideas. So they were all working in Bell Lab. So he applied CNN to that problem. And so basically what they did was that they applied CNN to handwritten recognition to help postal service, either UPS, they use it to help postal service to dispatch their mails, because most times back then you write stuff with your hand. So when you go through this stuff, like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to send this to this particular location or not. So after doing that, but while neural network, no much work is being done on neural network. A lot of work is being done on SVM. SVM was solving a lot of problems back then. Then this guy here, Jeremy Hitchens, he discovered, he worked on restrictive Boltzmann machine, which was more or less like something close to neural network, to neural network. But it's more or less like you're going to do your back propagation. So you're going to do your back propagation from your output to your input. You do them in between. So that's nothing about this restricted Boltzmann machine. Then what actually happened was that in 2012, there's this competition called ImageNet competition. So this competition is like, back then for computer vision experts, let's say you build a model, and your model is supposed to like classify the human face. It's supposed to classify the human face. So what you're going to do is you're going to build like a picture that is going to classify here, build another picture that is going to classify eyes, build all this stuff, then you stack everything together. So next competition will come, you guys will come out, okay, this is what my model can do. It can classify human face. How good is my model? Okay, if it's very good, say okay, probably it's 36% accurate or 40% accurate. But back then it was kind of less than 50% accurate. So what actually happened was that in his lab, his graduate students, Alex Kachowski and Elias Sescobar, so they all work in this, they try to solve this problem using neural network. Not just ordinary, they use convolutional neural network. And when they solve this problem, so it's image-based classification with deep convolutional neural network. So when they apply neural network to this problem, the accuracy actually went up. It was like, before, let's say usually every year they come out with like 2% increment, 3% increment, like building features, like handcrafted features. But with this, you not necessarily have to like build like an handcrafted features. You just have to like pass your inputs. Your model will learn that. So the difference was like about 80% or 40%. This was like outrageous, and that was when Google felt like, you know what, there's a lot that is happening in this field. Let's get this guy in. So that was when Google Brain project was actually formed, and it was one of the founders of Google Brain with other guys like Jeff Dean. He started the program, and ever since then, a lot of stuff has been happening. So from this graph, you can see that all the while AI, ML, nothing much has been happening. But this spike here was as a result of this competition, this image-based competition, and they applied deep neural network on this image-based competition. It brought like a lot of buzz. This is Google Trend. This is Google Trend here. This is Google Trend. So ever since then, a lot of things have been happening. Like you search AI slash or ML, like the trend has always been like it has always till now, it has always been going up. It's like constantly on a rise. So the whole idea is just that neural network has kind of changed the way we train our models, the way we do stuff. And one of the major things here is just that you don't necessarily have to like handcraft your features. All you just have to do most times is to feed your inputs to the model. It will learn to get like a good representation of your problem. It can solve that. But irrespective of whether you are applying neural network, it's very important. I want to really emphasize on this. It's very important you understand your problem. Like it's when you understand your problem, you know the kind of neural network you are going to apply, or the kind of model. Maybe you don't necessarily have to apply neural network, because sometimes applying a neural network to a simple problem is just like an overkill. You just have to like apply the appropriate algorithm for this problem. So I feel that the most important thing is knowing how to formulate your problem than actually building the model. The model is the easiest part. So that's the end of the class. Yeah.